This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, Highlanders assistant coach Mark Hammett is full of praise for his young forward pack, but knows the ultimate test will come this Friday. Around 500 people line up in the Octagon from early in the morning, hoping to win a major prize. And a group of Southern Clothing upcyclers are set to converge into Dunedin later this month. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Simon Anderson. Highlanders assistant coach Mark Hammett is full of praise for his young forward pack, but knows the ultimate test will come this Friday night in Christchurch. The Highlanders are set to take on the Crusaders in round 9 of Super Rugby, with their season hanging in the balance.
It's the likes of props Tyrrell Lomax and Aidan Johnston that have contributed to strong performances by the Highlanders forward pack so far this season, though it hasn't paid off in the win column. They've lost 5 out of 7 games this season, following another loss to the Hurricanes on Friday. But assistant coach Mark Hammett says the efforts of his young forwards is a real highlight.
We've got a young group, so we're still searching for ultimate consistency. But when you look at certainly that tight forwards, it's pretty young and it's starting to develop pretty nicely.
He says the young players are jumping out of their skins, but player loads have to be carefully managed. For the more experienced players in the squad, it's all about putting things in perspective.
When you lose, you look in depth at a lot more things than you would then if you won. I suppose you'd kind of drop it a bit easier or quicker, but when you lose, you go into depth, and I think we should just stop overthinking some stuff and just get back onto the track of playing week in, week out.
Outside back Matt Faddis says the side isn't far away and has been good enough to pick up bonus points for losing by such narrow margins.
No, on the outside it seems like it's getting towards crunch time, but as a player here it's pretty much just week in, week out. You're not really worried about the end of the competition. It seems like it's only just started, so yeah, we're just focusing on the game ahead.
The Crusaders lie in wait as their next opponent, and despite injuries to Marty Banks and Richard Buckman, there's plenty of incentive for the Highlanders, with Ben Smith set to play his 150th game for the franchise in Dunedin, the South today.
Meanwhile, injured Highlanders Aaron Smith, Waisaki Naholo and Liam Squire have been included in an All Blacks Foundation Day squad as preparations for the international season begin. 41 players have been named to attend a one-day camp in Wellington next week. 6 other Highlanders have made the squad, including Liam Coltman, Tyrrell Lomax, Jackson Hemapor, Shannon Frizzell, Luke Whitelock and Ben Smith. All Blacks coach Steve Hansen will select a 31-man squad for the Rugby World Cup in Japan later in the year. A national air carrier flew into Dunedin at lunchtime today to hand out giveaways as part of a nationwide competition. Around 500 people lined up from early in the morning, hoping to win a major prize, a trip to Rarotonga.
Be careful what you don't wish for, as you might just get it. Dunedin woman Nicole Robson was the first to arrive at an Air New Zealand promotion, arriving 4 hours before the event. She knew what she wanted to win.
I was coming to win some plane tickets to go on an adventure, hopefully to Rarotonga, because that's the best one in there apparently.
And Robson says she did some research on how to get to the main prize, or at least to potentially beat the system.
I have severely YouTubed how to win this game. It appears that every trick, hack, cheat, I'm really good at cheating games, to this has been covered in these rules of things you can't do.
Contestants were grilled on the competition's rules before going into the booth. Robson's partner Josh also keen on the Rarotonga trip, but his luck was as good as hers. So where would you say a bad prize would be?
The $10 iTunes voucher.
Sile was the third person taking part. She arrived at 10:30 and was also the third to enter the booth. She was also more keen on flights than iTunes vouchers.
Hopefully somewhere out of New Zealand, like Rarotonga. So confident, but yeah.
But proving things can happen in threes, she too received a $10 iTunes voucher.
$10 iTunes voucher.
Each contestant had 30 seconds to try and grab a small golden piece of tinsel from amongst a host of green ones as they flew around the booth. The last stop for the touring promotion is Invercargill tomorrow. In Dunedin, the South today.
Police are seeking the driver of an allegedly stolen vehicle involved in a high-speed pursuit on the streets of Oamaru this morning. The incident unfolded when police stopped a black Nissan in Wandsbrook Street at around 3:30 a.m. An officer ran a vehicle check after speaking to the male driver and female passenger, during which the driver sped off at high speed. Police pursued the vehicle, which was reported stolen from a Dunedin address 4 days ago, but abandoned the chase after about 3 minutes due to the nature and speed of the man's driving. A group of Southern Clothing upcyclers is set to converge in Dunedin later this month. Convener Kirsten Koch has called the hui for a couple of reasons: to chat with her fellow practitioners and as part of her further sociology studies.
Recycling textiles and dyeing with natural materials. Just a couple of the tools in the arsenal of Dunedin artist and sociology student Kirsten Koch, who's organised a gathering of like-minded textile artists.
And it features 7 participants, 7 local designers who use upcycled clothing material to create awesome clothing, new clothing. And they'll be speaking and showing their work with kind of interactive displays and talks.
Surrounded by some of the dried plants she uses to dye fabric, Koch says she's been passionate about environmental issues literally all of her life, as it's the way she was raised.
Well, I was brought up to be environmentally aware, living kind of a sustainable lifestyle where we made our own things and kind of had our own food, and I think there was great things I learnt there that can be applied to other people's lives to help them kind of maybe make a transition to a more sustainable life, but also it's really enjoyable, like it's not a loss of anything, it's actually quite creative and liberating to be able to make things for yourself.
She says the fashion and textile industries have major problems with environmental practices, a lack of sustainability and poor employment practices. She says upcycling is another step towards fashion sustainability.
You've kind of got reduce, reuse, recycle. So upcycle is the added on bonus, which for clothing and fashion, that means you're not just making do and putting up with kind of broken and old clothes, you're actually seeing the potential in these amazing fabrics and pieces and thinking of something that will really, you know, make them shine.
Koch says New Zealand's fashion industry isn't immune to global issues affecting the industry, including country of origin labelling.
And say for New Zealand fashion design, a lot of people buy them because they like the aesthetics, but also because they're made in New Zealand. But what we're finding now is that they're not actually made in New Zealand. It's less than 10% of the item that's made in New Zealand. It could just be the label and things. So, and also the fabrics aren't very nice anymore too, that they're making them out of. So that changes your attitude towards their making. But perhaps they're pressured to do that to be able to compete on a global market.
The Clothing Upcycling Seminar is scheduled for April 24th in the Otago Pioneer Women's Hall in Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today. A Hawea Flat writer is bound for Poland after winning a UNESCO City of Literature residency. And ODT health reporter Mike Houlihan continues his look at the elder care sector. See you after the break.
At Green Island Medical Centre, we are committed in caring for our future and present generations. We know as a young person, coming to the doctors can be quite daunting. Our highly skilled doctors and nurses will make your experience one where you will leave with a smile. Your health is very important to us.
Why wait for seed to germinate? Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garrador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren. His Garrador keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
At the hard-to-find bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489-2274.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician, for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Shall I make some scones?
No mai anō, welcome back. Dunedin is now set to host a double header of rock royalty when Queen performs just days after Sir Elton John at Forsyth Bar Stadium next year. Queen is set to perform its only South Island show on February 10th. The Monday night concert is part of the band's Rhapsody tour and will again have Adam Lambert taking the place of legendary frontman Freddie Mercury. The Dunedin concert will be staged just 6 days after Elton John's performance at the stadium. That means a potential combined crowd of 70,000 fans for the rock doubleheader. A retirement village is likely to be the last place you live in, so it needs to be a home. Residents at aged care facilities in Dunedin and Mosgiel have been learning that downsizing and relocating aren't as daunting as you might think.
And the minute I walked in the door, I knew. It was that lovely warm feeling, and every day's been wonderful since.
We've found this place to be just what we wanted. Okay, you give up a 5-bedroom house for a 2-bedroom unit, you've got a lot of stuff you've got to get rid of somewhere along the line, but be that as it may.
And I had wonderful neighbours, and I really didn't want to leave, but it was more the garden and being on my own too. And I like lots of people about.
Some of it is organised by our activities coordinator, and some of it is done actually by the village people themselves. So they run their own village garden, they run their own bar, they run the shop.
We've made it our job, really, to become part of the Brooklands community. It is a community, and it is really overdue. Everybody has the choice. You've seen the amount of organised activity there is, but you're not compelled. It's your choice whether you go or you don't go.
Well, I'm away next week for a few days to Clyde, so it makes it so easy being able to just say, let them know that I'm going. And it's great. Everything's here when I come back again. And I think too, it's the people and the staff that make this such a wonderful place. We all have such fun. It's lovely.
For one, you're not lonely. There's always someone else to talk to. Even if it's just around the kitchen with Robin, go and talk to them. People there's just, I don't know, it's just when you go out, you just shut your door and go out as if you're in your own home. It's a lovely, lovely feeling. a lot of people who've looked through that I've shown through, they say, oh, they wouldn't be able to downsize. But it's amazing what you can do without.
A Hawea flat writer is set to spend 2 months in Poland after winning a UNESCO City of Literature residency in Krakow. Liz Breslin has benefited from Dunedin's status as a UNESCO City of Literature. She is one of 4 writers heading to Poland for this year's residencies, open only to writers with a connection to a City of Literature. Breslin says she is still pretty euphoric about hearing the news and plans to spend her time in Krakow writing a series of spoken word essays that can be either performed or read. After the break on the South Today, drivers travelling between Wanaka and Queenstown today and tomorrow have to go the long way round, and Alexandra hosts the Ura Ura Whenua Schools Kapahaka Festival.
Wait for seed to germinate. Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Green Island Medical Centre have 2 late night clinics. We are now open on a Tuesday and Thursday night until 7 p.m. with doctor and nurse appointments available. Phone us on 488 2754 to make a booking or to find out more information.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garradoor to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren. His Garradoor keeps his favourite right in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
Most of us have spots on our skin. That's quite normal. Finding skin cancer as early as possible is key to successful treatment. Book in for a free check of 1 to 2 moles or a comprehensive full body check with the Mole Doctor in Waverley.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Step into Shop on Carrot and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Thanks for staying with us. Drivers travelling between Wanaka and Queenstown will have to take the long way round for periods of today and tomorrow. The more direct Crown Range Road will be closed between Cardrona and Eastbourne Road between 9:30 in the morning and 3:30 in the afternoon. The closure is to allow for blasting, rock removal, scaling and clearing of slips. One lane will be open for periods before and after the closure. Work was to begin yesterday, but the road crews were taking part in a nationwide stop work meeting. Alexandra welcomed schools from across the region last weekend at the Ura Ura Whenua Schools Kapa Haka Festival. The event was coordinated by the Central Otago Rural Education Activities Program.
Coming together for a celebration of Māori culture under the blue sky and sunshine of Central Otago. Schools from across the region making the way to Alexandra for the Ura Ura Whenua Schools Kapa Haka Festival.
Ranfurly, Maniatoto area schools here, and then from Mount Aspiring College, Wanaka Primary School, and then Cromwell, Alexandra and the smaller schools in between.
The event was organised by the Central Otago Rural Education Activities Program. It's held every 2 years at Molyneux Park Stadium.
I mean, you can't find a car park. It's like a massive rugby games on in Alexandra today, but it's the Kapa Haka Festival, so it's a fantastic feel to it. And the kids just look so excited to be coming along and sharing their skills.
The schools take part in Kapa Haka and Waiata learning throughout the year, building up to the performance.
They're all fantastic. You see the little ones, the 5-year-olds, right up to the high school kids, and they just seem to enjoy it so much. It's really fantastic. A great day out. And look at the sunshine in Central Otago today.
The event's now in its 12th year, and organisers say it continues to go from strength to strength in Alexandra, the South today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Highlanders assistant coach Mark Hammond is full of praise for his young forward pack, but knows the ultimate test will come this Friday in Christchurch. Around 500 people lined up from early in the morning, hoping to win the major prize, a trip to Rarotonga. And a group of Southern Clothing upcyclers are set to converge into Dunedin later this month. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Philip.
Yes, hi, Simon. Fresh on Wednesdays. It's always popular. The main story is about women's handbags and bags. I didn't know there were so many different sorts. Apparently it tells you something about your personality, what sort of bag you carry and use. So there we go. Also in Fresh, lots of recipes and a wine and beer column. Interesting story about Fresh prospects for major exploration for oil and gas in the Great Southern Basin, off Otago, and that always causes interest and opposition too, of course. The Otago Museum, looking at their long-term plans, upgrading galleries and so forth, just a mere $50 million worth, just say it quickly. The Otago Regional Council, they've had a document has been revealed to us, a review of their consents and all sorts of issues and all sorts of problems. Some real concerns there. And thought I'd finish with sport. The All Blacks named their 41 Foundation Day squad, and several Highlanders there, including Tyrell Lomax. So
new name,
that gives him a chance to get in the All Blacks itself. So
excellent. All right. Thank you very much, Philip. And now look at what's happening in the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by MolMap.
Beginning with the southern view, taken of some of those hopeful to win flights in Dunedin's Octagon. Looking at the situation, a trough of low pressure moves over southern regions tomorrow, with gusty, cold southwest airflow developing and remaining through the weekend. Starting off with the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect rain and 19-degree highs. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim, you've got cloudy skies and should expect high temperatures of 23. In Canterbury, it should be cloudy. Plan for a high of 22 degrees in Kaikoura and 23 in Christchurch. Ashburton, you've got a high chance of rain and a high of 22. In the southern towns, plan for fresh southwesterlies and rain. The Catlins, Balclutha, Gore and Lumsden should all reach 15 degrees. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, where you're due for fresh southwesterlies and rain. Wanaka and Alexandra and Queenstown head for 16, while those in Te Anau are 2 degrees cooler on 14. To the northern towns, Twizel and Omarama get ready for the rain later with southwesterly change. 20 is the high for Twizel and 18 for Omarama. Timaru and Oamaru have a similar forecast with rain and a change to southwesterlies. Timaru heads for 22 and Oamaru should reach 20. In Dunedin, cloud increasing tonight with northerly winds and an overnight low of 13. Cloudy tomorrow with a few showers and mild northerly winds during the morning. Then more persistent rain in the afternoon with fresh, gusty, cold southwest winds. Looking at a high of 18 and a low of 9. Cloudy and cold on Thursday with light southwesterlies, a high of 13 and a chilly low of just 7 degrees. Heading to Invercargill, rain developing tonight with gusty northerlies decreasing with an overnight low of 9 degrees. Rain easing to showers during the day tomorrow with strong, colder southwest winds. Showers clearing tomorrow night, heading for a high of 14 and a low of 7. Cloudy and cold on Thursday with a few showers possible at times and fresh and gusty southwesterlies. You should have a high of 13 and a low of 7 degrees. And that's our news this Tuesday. For the latest news from the Southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.